Well, hello there. My name is Susan Hamilton, and you're watching OffBeat Business TV.
You're listening to the OffBeat Business Show, rebuilding American business influence locally, nationally, and abroad, bringing you experienced insight for a strong, influential brand and successful life in business. Here's your host, Susan Hamilton.
Today I'm here with BaldJake from Instagram.
That's me.
Oh my goodness. Jake Jordan is really a genius when it comes to content, and he's got so many things to share with us today because these are really challenging times. We're shooting this post-COVID, and the world is just starting to open up again. There's a lot of businesses still down, but we need to really encourage you to get excited about your business again, get loud about your business again, because no one's going to hand it to you, baby. You're going to have to really work for this. And Jake knows all about it. So he's been doing content therapy. We just realized we kind of have the same gig going on here.
Right.
But he's so much more comprehensive. You're doing so many things, Jake. Talk a little bit about some of the services that you're doing right now.
Yeah, so I like to always start with a story, right? 'Cause stories tell, right? So I was in an ad agency and I was marketing director for years. And I really got to do a bunch of really cool stuff. I got to work with big businesses, big initiatives, lots of really cool stuff. But what I got super frustrated with is that a lot of times people got in the way, right? People had different agendas. People had different thoughts on how they wanted things to work.
The same people who need content.
The same people who wanted me to get them business, right? And so I just got super frustrated with that. And what I decided was I want to go out and guide people in the way of getting stuff done and to doing it more impactful, right? Because that's where my company name came from, was that I got tired of buying attention all the time. All these businesses would come and say, hey, get us here, put us in front of this so we can get all these customers. And I kept wanting to scream, it's not about attention. It's about making a huge impact on one person today, because that person's going to be your next customer or they're going to be your next referral. So focus on one person.
Absolutely. I love the name impact over attention. That got my attention like right away, because those are ideals that make a difference. Because you can have 1 million views, 1 million listeners. Did it make a difference? Did it impact the community? And as you and I were talking earlier, it's about, did the dollar change the hand?
That's right. Because everyone's got to make money. But I find, I'm a big Seth Godin fan, followed him for years and years. And, you know, if you can build a tribe, if you can find a group that you really gel with, and you can be a solutionist for that group, you can have a business for a lifetime. And I truly believe that. And so when you can find the key, you know, kind of talking off camera with some people, is when you can create a message that vibes with people, that they get it right away, there's a lot less selling to do. Yeah. It's like, oh, I think I like and trust this person, so let's go see maybe what they could offer, versus, hey, come on, like, come buy my stuff, please, right? That's exhausting.
It is. And you know how we know that? Because we've done that.
Exactly.
We have done this.
That's right.
So if you're doing that, don't beat yourself up. We're just trying to tell you there's a better way.
That's right.
Because this conversation and getting to know each other is huge. It's one of the reasons why we are enjoying pulling people back out of their business again to go meet face to face and get to know each other again, because we need that. We need that energy.
Right.
And it's not about just, hey, how can I get this deal done? Because right now the needs are so different, right? I mean, we better be listening. We better be listening to the marketplace.
That's right. Yeah, listing's always something that you should be doing as a business. Well, I forget who it was. It's one of the big wigs, you know, one of the Warren Buffetts or whoever, one of those guys, says that one thing he does every day, no matter what, is he goes and he talks to a customer, a real live customer. Maybe on the phone, but every day, that's what you do. You want to know what the pulse of your people are. And that's hard to do if you don't know who your people are in the first place, right? Because if it's everybody, and you just pick somebody at random, that opinion may not matter for anything, especially when it comes to making money. But especially when it comes to making an impact, because you can't boil the ocean, as they say. You can help one person with one thing every day, but you can't help everybody with everything every day. And I think that's one of those sayings that gets lost, because we think of it as like a quote on an Instagram wall or something, right? But the truth is if you're not willing to help a very specific person with a very specific problem, especially now, you're just gonna get lost. People aren't gonna hear you.
Man, that's a good point. It's so necessary, right? Because people don't know really what they need. We know that in marketing because we've spent a lot of years in marketing, and we know you got to nurture that relationship to really hear what is going on. But today it's so different, and what people are going through. I've noticed on the business first responders. So I'm loving the business first responder podcast that you do with Suzanne Johns and Jay Mamie. I mean, that's just fabulous. You're always bringing the most amazing information to people about this. And you're bringing to bear that you may think your problem's one thing, but it could be something else. Well, marketing's the same way.
Yep.
And listening's that same way. And I think it's important to realize what we really, you said you can't boil the ocean. I'm going to challenge you to freaking try. Because right now, if we don't think big enough to go after the marketplace in a very different way, yeah, compassion, but hey, America, and it starts here in the local community. We have got to get this thing back up and rolling again, because we're making choices, I think, in the way we're having to do business, because we have to, right? There's these regulations in place,
right.
But you're spending just as much for 25% of the service, 25% of the product, right? And I don't know that that's going to last very long. I think we're going to have to find yet a better way, and then communicate to the marketplace again that we've had a better way and rise. We've got to get this thing back up and going as just a matter of the success of our communities.
Yeah, one of my sales mentors in the past said, you don't get back to the basics. You just never leave the basics. So I think the people that are going to be thriving, as my co-host Jay Mamie likes to say, if you're going to thrive, you've got to keep doing what you've always been doing during this time. There's no reason to stop, right? Because if you're an athlete, you don't stop playing while the game's going. If you do, you get crushed, right? And it hurts, and you might not get back up. That's where we're at right now. So if you're not out there at least keeping the flow open on the valve of your message, then you're going to get buried. And some of the things I'm encouraging people to do. And so like I have an accountability group that I run that's open for anybody who's looking to accomplish a business goal this next 30 days. It's a challenge. The reason I opened that is because I saw so many people, friends of mine who are entrepreneurs, they're great at what they do, that were just froze, that they didn't know what to do next. And they all had different reasons. Some of them were money's not coming in, people are letting me go, that budget disappeared. There's a lot of that going on. But other people were just like, I don't know what to do with all this stress. And there's a lot of anxiety around this. And the media feeds some of that, but some of it's real because the world shut down for a few weeks.
There's a little stress involved in that.
Yeah. What do you do when you're stressed? Well, you absorb it, you assess it, and then you keep going. And I think you do the same thing with your marketing. It's just, you have to talk a little bit different now because people are hurting. There are people out there that are significantly lost jobs, lost retirement, lost people they loved. It's out there, right? But what we have to do is keep going. And if we don't do that, you just become one of the casualties of business or whatever.
That's great that you, I think there's a difference between men and women when it comes to this too. So I think men can kind of push, almost roboticize the whole process, right? You're going to keep going. As a woman, what I noticed, and you and I both have this in common also, we have small children at home, right? And that I think is a big part of the stress of everything. Yeah. It's hard to think business when you're interrupted and you don't want to call it an interruption, right? I don't know about you, but that's hard for me.
I love this.
I love it. I really enjoy having that time. But it's hard to kind of shift gears and go back and forth. And there were a couple of times during that moment, and a couple of women that I work with that I recognized, because I had to push myself through it, because you'll just go, you know what, today I have heard my last bit of bad news. Today I'm walking away. Today I'm jumping in the pool. Today I'm taking a walk. I'm just no. Yeah. And it's hard to get back up and do it again and go, okay. But you're right, that the ability to do that is the differentiator, isn't it?
Yeah, and you don't have to do it black and white. It doesn't have to be we're not doing this or we are doing it, right? I'm big on time blocking. I'm a huge productivity nut.
I think that's really wise.
Yeah, and you don't have to time block 8 hours in a day. I do, but I'm stupid. I'm a weirdo, right? And I'm a creative person too, believe it or not. And most people who are creatives don't like being time blocked. But it's, I say discipline is freedom. When you put yourself in a position to do the things that you want to do every day, it offers a path to freedom in so many different areas of your life, right? And so when you time block things like, this is the time I'm going to work and work on my message today, it could be 30 minutes, maybe 2 hours, who knows? But guess what? I may have 4 hours of I'm in the pool because I just can't handle this today. But I still have my 30 minutes, So I think that's the push that I want to make is get up, spend your first hour or two of your day working on stuff that's hard to work on. So when you have your most energy most of the time, Even if you're a night owl, you wake up with a lot of energy in the morning. But go do those things, and then if you need to take the day off, take the day off. But do the things that matter every day.
Because you'll come back re-energized, right? I mean, that's the thing. If your body is screaming for that, if you've got the shutdown going on, take those few moments because you're going to come back stronger and really refreshed. And man, I dig the time blocking thing. You're absolutely right. Yeah. And it's hard for creatives to do that. And I don't have the 8-hour done, so you're knocking it out of the ballpark, man.
Well, I always say I do that because I need it. I would be a hot dumpster fire mess if my day was not planned out every day, because I just have so many ideas. I have that shiny syndrome where like, wow, that looks cool. Let's go solve that.
I can stay in it for about 4 hours, and that's necessary. But we're still at that stage where the OBBM brand is still being learned, right? So we're at all those stages of business, and so I'm not quite to the 8 hours. I imagine that's coming. I can do about 4 hours of the time blocking, and that's been tremendously different.
What you don't see is 2.5 of it's lunch, a walk, workout. So, that's my time block.
Okay. I'm not counting those. Good for you.
Because then they get done. So one of the things I did want to leave people with is, for sure, is that if we didn't cover anything else as far as like tactics and strategy and stuff, I think there are, to get your message out there, you need to make sure that you are aiming at somebody specific. And I can't get to the whole thing, but my 3 Ps that I always tell people, no matter what, are talk to one person about one pain point on one platform and get that down. And once you do that, it becomes way easier to scale. Because if you're not talking like that, then I feel like you get lost in everybody else.
I think that's exciting, and I can't wait to get back to that. Friends, we are going to take a break and hear from a few of our sponsors, and when we come back, we're going to finish hearing about the 3 Ps and the types of things he's doing with his accountability class. Are you really enjoying Jake Jordan as much as I am? Because you're going to get something out of this that you can use like right now. We'll be right back.
The American business economy is positioned as it has never been before. Professional videography is a core element for attracting a higher level of engagement with the people group you need for significant impact. Now is your time to shine. My name is Bill Brock, owner of White Rock Films, and I invite you to a powerful opportunity in the marketplace, an opportunity to draw excited people to your events, an opportunity to showcase your ideas on infrastructure, an opportunity to become known as the industry authority and enjoy the associated benefits of a strong, influential brand. Video highlights, video teaches. Video puts a resistant market at ease, and video stirs the hearts and imaginations of your allies and strategic client base. White Rock Films offers full audio, video production for businesses ready to embrace the future, handling your project with professionalism, experience, and polish unheard of in the industry. My name is Bill Brock, and White Rock Films wants your business. See us online at whiterockfilms.com.
And we're back. You're watching Offbeat Business TV. My name is Susan Hamilton, and I'm here with Jake Jordan. And impact over attention, as you can see with this shirt. Totally dig that whole concept. But you were talking before we went to break about the 3 Ps. So talk a little bit more about that. Go into some detail.
Yeah, so one of the things I found as I was working in ad agency and honing kind of my messaging skills for people was that I had a lot more effective campaigns and money coming in the door for companies when I really, they call it, you probably niching, you've heard niching your message in your market, and taking that concept and really making it into a campaign that I could run with and sell to people, right? But it's something that anybody can do and pick up really easily. And what I mean by that is people thrive on frameworks. People need a plan of some sort, otherwise they kind of get lost, right? The confused mind says no is a great quote I heard somewhere. And so if you tell me, all you gotta do is do this, this, and this, even though I don't know everything about that, it gives me confidence to at least go try. And so one of the things that I put together this last year was there are 3 Ps to me that you need to cover when you're doing anything, whether it's a social media post, whether it's a blog, whether it's a show like this, right? In my mind, I'm talking to one person right now. I can see that person in my mind. I love working with cause-driven organizations. That's for-profit and nonprofit. If you have a people you love, I want to help those people more.
Excellent.
That's like my target market, right? I can see one of those people, and because I've worked with quite a few of them. There's one pain point I know that they deal with, right? It's having enough time to do things online, to actually make it work. Okay. And then there's one place I see them a lot. It's on Instagram, because a lot of them are service-based, or they're working with particular people groups. So it's very image-driven.
Okay.
So Instagram is where I spend a lot of time besides LinkedIn. And so if I'm talking to Pete, let's call him, and Pete is trying to reach more people, but he just really only has 20, 30 minutes. His cause takes up a lot of his day. He has 20 or 30 minutes, and he's already on Instagram. It's a place he already likes to hang out because he posts pictures about the things that he's doing with his cause. I'm going to say, good, focus on that and find ways to leverage the attention on that platform with one particular pain point that you know you can solve for your customer, for your cause, and then make sure you're talking to one specific one. And the reason I think that's so important is because people respond to language that is native to them, right?
That's true.
Because even geographically is a great way people like to think about it, right? Geographically, if I talk to Jay Mamie and I start talking like I'm from Brooklyn, he may laugh at me. But if I get some words in there, he's going to connect with it just subconsciously, right? But if I'm talking to my cousin who's from Tyler, I'm going to say y'all, and I'm going to slow down, and I'm going to talk about things a little bit more like we're not a rush, you know? And so you can do the same thing with your content because when you do that, you don't have to work so hard to gain trust and things like that. And they'll hear you. Because I know one thing that I learned from, I guess I forget who it was, is be polarizing. Say things that you actually believe and say them how you mean them, because then you're not going to sound like everybody else, right? I admire you for that.
Love this
right?
guy. Love this guy.
Because we may not agree on everything all the time. I know where you stand.
Right.
And if I need to go talk to somebody about X, I know who to come and talk to, right? Because there's no doubt. So that's, to me, how you should treat your message for your business. Especially now.
Especially now. Oh my goodness, this is such an important time because they can't now a couple things about that online content. It's freaking flooded, man.
It is.
It is flooded. It is totally saturated to be on there. And so if you want that to pay, you're right. That content, what you say, that you're connecting using their language and really paying attention to that while you're there, because you can't afford to not be there. Got to be there. Yeah. But there's a way to do it and to connect with your hubs, right? Start
Absolutely.
with, okay, this is who I'm talking to.
Right.
I understand my audience. I'm going to go directly there and pull in a tribe. I hate the word tribe, but it's the truth, right? It's your group. It's the people that really get it, right? And who are going to beat the drums for you. Hey, that works, right?
That's true. That's true. Yeah, it's like your big fans. Call them like your big super fans. Because at the end of the day, it's a whole lot easier for me to go find some place to sell something if I knew who I'm after. That's another reason I think it's important to do that, is because if I get on Facebook groups are amazing. It's free, like, groups that I can go speak into that I know are going to listen to me.
I just recently started doing that.
Yeah.
I just thought, that's one more thing. And I really, seriously, and if it weren't for this being stuck, really, that's when I started exploring. And I think you're right. I think the feedback is a lot different in a group.
Well, we're to grow a whole business on it. There's subreddits for every subject you can think of. It's a fantastic place to go research business ideas or new revenue ideas. Or, I mean, if you want to find out something that you don't know about a particular subject area, now it's the internet, be careful. There's a lot out there that's not true, right? But it's a great place to start looking to stir some ideas. It's also a great place to market. Another one I like that is Quora. Quora is a fantastic place to go have conversations that are real, because people are typically asking questions about things because it's a questions platform. It's a Yahoo Answers 2.0, you know? And so I think by knowing your audience and knowing specifically what you believe and not being afraid to say what you believe, you can then go find groups so you don't have to stand out on the Facebook feed, on the LinkedIn feed. You go into the groups that are already established and start there. That's a great place to start.
Yeah, same concept with the OBBM app that's in development right now. I hope you've downloaded the OffBeat Business app, and you can get all this content very easily right in the palm of your hand. Through that, you can get business first responders, you can get OffBeat Business podcast, you can get Biz Points podcast, and the myriad of other great business resources for you to do it. But really get a handle on that business growth, my friends, because there couldn't be a more important time for your community to know that you got their back. You know, marketplace confidence is an interesting thing, isn't it? I mean, they're watching businesses. They're watching to see, hey, what are you doing? Right. And if you are afraid and you're not stepping out there, they are too, right? And they're not trading dollars in that environment.
That's right.
Right. And so we want to grow those businesses because that's your tax base, that's your school, that's even when we're homeschooling, right? I mean, I know you're doing that right now. I'm so applaud you for that. Fabulous way to make sure you've got your family values and you can do that. But that's no small task. That's a lot of work to be doing that all together. I know I'm chewing on doing that myself. Those are huge challenges out there. But we've got to be able to impact our community so much better, because those things, when they get too far away from you, too far away from local business, there's choices that get made that are not in the community's best interest. So you get to really hold a strong position when you're strong in business.
It's true, and I think business is a great way to share your values. You know, because depending on what you do, if it's something that you're just selling a widget, you can still provide an atmosphere that supports your values. Or I'm going to look for specific people, value-driven businesses that, you know, a thing that they care about, to go help them too. So I actually get to go pick the causes and the different things that I care about and help them grow it from a bottom-up standpoint, right? So business is a huge part of, you know, lots of different things in life. You know, for me, I'm a Christian. It's also my ministry place. I might not be someone who goes and works at a church and does things like that, but you better believe that I'm going to live my life in a way in my business that's going to show what I believe.
That's right.
So I think you can't downplay the level and the importance of business.
So love that. Jay, how can people get a hold of you?
So I'm BaldJake pretty much everywhere because I'm bald, in case you couldn't tell. And, you know, BaldJake anywhere. I'm on LinkedIn, Jake Jordan's. It's a lot where I spend a lot of my time, along with Instagram at BaldJake. And then it's impactoverattention.com is my website.
Excellent. You can find all that information in the OffBeat Business app and at offbeatbusiness.com as well. As a matter of fact, we've got this great accountability group. And before I let you go, I want to know a little bit about what you're talking about in that group and if you've got more spaces, because someone out there might really enjoy learning like this.
Right. So accountability groups are really important to me. It's how I made a lot of my biggest progress in any business I've ever been in. And so it's pretty simple setup. Is I deliver content every day for 30 days via email. And what we're trying to do is get you to accomplish a goal in 30 days that you have had a little struggle with. You need some help. You need some support. And so I deliver a little message, a minute or two every day. We have a group that we're a part of, so you can get encouragement, you can mastermind, you can network, you can ask other people for help. So we've got the group aspect, and then we have weekly check-in calls on Zoom. And so you bring your problems, bring your challenges, bring your hoorays, and every week we check in with the group and we help each other out. So it's kind of a 3-point place so that you can get a lot of networking, you can get some specific help on the calls, and then you get a little bit of a nudge every day from me to help you get at the end of 30 days. We're going to celebrate with you, and hopefully you're a step further than you were before that. And yes,
days.
We have lots of room.
Do you have room?
We do.
Well, it sounded like you had an interesting business model here.
I do. Yeah, I think so. I like it. It's a hybrid of something that I've seen out there. There's a cohort model where you kind of bring everybody in together, which is kind of the smaller version. And I've done a bunch of those before. But then there's these like Facebook groups out there that recruit 10,000 people into a group, and you're like, you get lost. So it's like, I didn't really want to do that. It's like, how can I bring in the impact, into a group like that, and bring it down to size so that everyone gets touch points and gets to talk about their things, because people want to talk about their things. They don't want to just learn. And so this is the model I came up with.
Awesome. Well, get over there, friends, and get some communication going on with some new peeps, get some fresh blood in your network. If you're still networking with the same people you were networking with pre-COVID, break it. Get out there and meet some new people and go enjoy this time in business while we are, I would consider it being reborn again into our business here. Until next time, you've been watching OffBeat Business TV, listening to the OBBM Network Podcast or OBBM Radio. Make sure you download the OffBeat Business app and get all of this great content in the palm of your hands.
You've been listening to the OffBeat Business Show. Find our lineup, podcast, magazine, event calendar, and sponsor information, even our membership directory, all available on the OffBeat Business app or at offbeatbusiness.com. Download the OffBeat Business app today.